In '69, my father said he had a friend that he knew that had a home air compressor. And back in those days, a home air compressor was something most people didn't have. It was kind of a novelty to have it. So we went and looked at this air compressor. In this man's garage was a snowmobile. Now, we had never seen a snowmobile. It wasn't an Arctic Cat, but it was another brand. And we saw it, had a little tag-along sleigh with it. Well, we developed an interest in the sled. So instead of buying the air compressor from my father's friend, we ended up buying the snowmobile.
And then, I don't know, a week or two later, we went up to the park and riding around. And this road that we were on, it was such a nice road. I was flat out, thought I was doing quite a thing. Until this black thing went by me, like I was anchored. And then I went to find this guy. He was down the parking lot. We get down there and I said, "What the heck have you got?" He says, "I'm a dealer." He says, "Jesus, try it."
And my father, being as competitive as he is, and still is today, decided it was time to update. We only owned the Johnson for a week, and probably on the 8th day we owned the big Black Panther. So from that point on, we were hooked on snowmobiling, and it just developed from there. The first sled that I actually owned myself was a 634 Puma. My father bought me the Puma at one of the local dealerships. We modified it, we sent it to the dealer, and he took the motor apart and modified the sled, and I had a blast with that Puma. To me, Cat did something that nobody else did. They built a black sled. They built a sled with a big motor hanging out the front end of it. They won with it. They were very successful with it. So it was easy to choose Cat. When the King Cat came along, I think that was the icing on the cake. That just solidified my interest. I've wanted a 4-cylinder King Cat from the day that they first arrived at the dealership. Word traveled. That was big news, and it got back to me that one of the 4-cylinder King Cats arrived at the dealership. We went up and looked at it. And from that day on, I wanted to own one. It didn't take long for me to realize that the collection was going to get pretty big. By the 7th or 8th sled, I knew that I was going to need a facility to house these. So we built a playroom, foyer, garage, and 2/3 of that became the playroom. When I designed the playroom, I designed it knowing I was going to put the sleds in it. Instead of the studs being 16 inches on center, they were 12 inches on center. Knowing that I was going to be hanging kitty cats, I needed that support. Knowing that I was going to need 12-inch spans to hang all the different collectible items and memorabilia and even sleds onto the wall. We built a 20-foot in-the-wall display case, so we built it with that in mind. But as it stands today, the room can accommodate probably 36 sleds, including the 2 kitty cats that are up on the wall. That's the David Heights House Team A-Bowl Snow Pro sled. It's a 340. It's a 95-mile-an-hour sled. Didn't have to restore it. It was in that nice a condition. We fired it right up. Thing runs great. The only thing I did was probably touch up the spindles and the skis from just some of the wear and tear from the track ice and stuff. This whole collection is a result of passion. And if you try and explain passion, passion is the love for the product and what it represents. That's the best way I can define passion. I didn't create the passion. Arctic Cat created the passion. I just took advantage of it. I can't take credit for saying that I designed it. I mean, I can say I restored the stuff, but all I did was just recopy what they created. And they really hold the rights to it, whether it's on paper or not. It was Cat who built it, designed it, put the thought process into it. And we can all say that, it's our collection and be proud of it, but you really got to take a back seat to Cat and really just give them the credit for what they did.